Hey everyone, I'm the Mandalorian Merc, also known as Mando Merc, and today I'll be covering the Marvel's Avengers, or I just call it the Square Enix Avengers, reveal war table thing? Yes, war table. So I figured I'd cover it live, because why not? I might have some other Cast and Shadow members join me, so later on. So I'll cover it live. Let me just lower the volume so I can talk without having to, oops. Hold on. Sorry about that.
I felt if I could instill rules, the proper boundaries, I could harness the raw power of that beast. A few months later, while hunting, the adolescent cub turned on me. We're fixing the damage the Avengers did all those years ago. Inhumans are sick. Unlimited power, that's dangerous. It's lethal. You are lucky to be alive. Come on, Kamala. Let AIM help you.
I'll take my chances. What if the Avengers were set up? I think you should see for yourself.
Character. Essentially, so for anyone who doesn't know...
Hi, I'm sorry, who are you?
Kamala?
This better be good.
Here. So for anyone who doesn't know, Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel,
You completely lost
pretty
your
much the
senses.
main character.
Where were you while the
of this
world went to
game.
hell?
This is our fault.
It was revealed at New York City Comic Con 2019,
better without us.
where they had
It's always
she's the
been
main
your problem.
character of the
Run
game,
from
and it's
who you are,
the Avengers themselves.
what you are.
And you can clearly tell, like, no, that's
This
a
is
move
exactly
that they
what
did
Toronto
because
wants.
they're like, oh, we need to promote this character that no one likes and has no popularity and no one knows who she is. Like, she has a TV show coming out. Or, sorry, Disney Plus.
Progress, Avengers. Power cannot be controlled.
She's one of those characters they made for Marvel decided to make all the politically correct characters.
Even if it has to end with me.
It's just got a whole lot
Also,
weirder.
those are really stupid looking guys.
What's up, Marvel fans? My name's Casey Lynch, and I'm editorial director at Crystal Dynamics. Marvel's Avengers War Table is your direct source for all things Marvel's Avengers. We've got a great show lined up with new trailers, new details on one of our main villains, MODOK, and advanced idea mechanics. And we'll take a first look at co-op and war zones. If you've ever thought, what is this game? Or how does it work? Then this is the show for you. Let's get into it, starting with the story trailer. In the aftermath of A-Day, everything changed.
You so-called heroes transformed San Francisco into an infectious, gas-filled quarantine zone. You unleashed diseased, powerful beings that wreak havoc throughout our nation. So I ask you again, Dr. Banner, do the Avengers pose a danger to society?
Yes. I can promise you this. I will use this second chance to make you safe. AIM will find a cure for the inhuman disease.
As a founding member of tech giant Advanced Idea Mechanics, or AIM, George Tarleton dreamt of a world made better through science. But even as AIM promises a cure to end the inhuman infection, and the revolutionary Adaptoid project offers a world protected by science, Tarleton, a victim of A-Day himself, uses AIM's technological might and the public's fear of Inhumans to convince the world that the superpowered are uncontrollable and cannot be trusted. His deranged obsession drives him to become MODOK, mental organism designed only for killing.
It'd be cool to see all sorts of
When choosing a villain, we knew we needed someone who had the muscle and mental capacity to become an Avengers-level threat. We also wanted a new face for modern Avengers fans. Big face. But comic fans know MODOK is anything but new. His origin in Marvel lore dates back more than 50 years to October of 1967 in Tales of Suspense. Now, with AIM's drive to manipulate public fear and his ability to control machines with his mind, Tarleton and AIM are the most sophisticated threat the Avengers have ever faced. But a teenage fangirl named Kamala Khan doesn't trust AIM. In fact, she's convinced that AIM is experimenting on her fellow Inhumans under the guise of finding a cure. And she believes George Tarleton was behind the plot to discredit the Avengers. And she has proof. As you pick up the trail of the long-disbanded Avengers, you'll advance the story of the single-player campaign, unlocking more and more hero-specific missions. We know you've been asking for new gameplay that's not from A-Day. We hear you. So here's a playthrough of part of a new Thor hero mission called Once an Avenger.
Alright, so at least they're giving us new gameplay. Pre-release build, so this might just be a build they made specifically for this demo. So don't take the real thing. Might, take it with a grain of salt. This might be false. Got the first time we've seen fake gameplay.
We're here live at the AIM experience in Manhattan, witnessing the return of the Avengers, but they appear to be attacking the city. Keep rolling, keep rolling. Is it any coincidence that this attack comes on the very day that AIM is supposed to unveil their promising new Adaptoid program? Oh.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You should know, I'm not in the best of moods!
Still all cinematics so far.
Wait, is that Thor?
Holy crap, Thor! Where the hell did you come from?
I was serving the commoners when it started raining bolts of metal from the skies.
It is unbelievably good to see you.
A bit dramatic, don't you think?
It doesn't matter. He's here now.
So the false god returns. Why? You did what you were supposed to do, Thor. You gave up your power. You should have stayed forgotten.
Never, when mortals are in peril. Where do you hide, Doctor? Can you not face me?
Look around. I'm everywhere.
What are these things? They're drilling into the deck!
Something Carlson cooked up to crash the Chimera. Fun, aren't they?
Alright, sorry I had to... Yeah, that's...
Hello. Just like old times.
Good looking.
AIM dropships inbound.
It's not very
I see them.
groundbreaking.
Focus on those
It's
mechs.
just mash them up, and I heard
Kamala,
people
you
compare
okay?
to Destiny
Yeah.
today, which I thought was
No.
the weirdest
On my way.
character.
Hulk, you got this?
I guess if it is a looter shooter. Oh, what just happened? That's not good. I think Chrome just crashed.
Thor, can you hold it up with wind?
Tear the ship apart!
Pretend that didn't happen.
You killed Captain America, Thor. Who else will fall before your hammer?
Silence!
to be able to control the balloon. I think you'd be able to fly a lot.
Story.
Not on my watch. The Chimera can't go down. Not again.
Spotted some drones heading for the command deck.
Got my hands full, kid.
I'm on them.
Nice. Security subsystems just came back online. It's working.
Can you enable lockdown?
Already working on it.
Nothing. I don't trust anything I'm seeing on the screen right now just because it's kind of hard. For starters, there's no HUD. I'm sure you can turn the HUD off. Most things do, but I mean, it's just hard to believe.
I can handle the large one
Usually they have the when they show gameplay like this in demos, it's usually, especially into the pre-release, it's usually a build made specifically for the demo.
Guys, the Chimera can't take much more of this.
They did a lot of damage down in the engine room.
Well, I'm sure gameplay will be similar to this, but
do not do this!
You've given me no choice. You'll find this shield familiar, Stark.
How original. You gonna steal my haircut next?
The damage has already been done, Avengers.
Open the pipe!
Kamala, Tony, we're trying to restart the engines, but there's not enough power.
We're out of time, people. Brace for impact.
Hey, God of Thunder.
Stay behind me!
Now, bring it!
Okay, so I'm seeing a lot more cinematics in the gameplay. Even with the
It's working!
Pull up!
So it's like play and then cinematic, play and then cinematic, play. It's not just, you're more traditional to play a game and then you have cinematic.
Once an Avenger is a great example of a hero mission, a single-player campaign experience focusing on a specific playable character. Hero missions give us a chance to tell more of each hero's story and showcase the variety and depth of our hero designs. Let's take a quick look at how Thor plays. With the game's combat systems, players can string together combos of heavy and light attacks, or hold for signature attacks. Combat versatility is one of Thor's strengths, from making use of Mjolnir to pin enemies from a distance, or bringing the sky down on his foes. In addition to core combat moves, the God of Thunder has a wide variety of skills to unlock that give him access to classic moves. This is one of our favorites, manual targeting. We largely drew our influence from writer Jason Aaron's run on the Mighty Thor comic. Manual targeting allows you to quickly mark your enemies for bullseyes with Mjolnir, and one by one, you can mark them and knock them down as Mjolnir comes back to you. Follow that up with a powerful ground pound, and you've got a mighty combo. Manual targeting is a great ranged attack, but if up close and personal is more your style, go with the hammer spin or Mjolnir Cyclone.
Is it obvious that it's kind of
Heroes have 3 special heroic moves: Assault, Ultimate, and Support. When designing our heroics, we started with the signature moves from the comics and movies that we've always wanted to play. The Assault heroic charges the fastest, and in some cases, you can store multiple charges to use strategically as a part of your combos. You can perform these after charging your heroic meters with normal attacks. For instance, Natasha's assault heroic is Widow's Bite, which is an electroshock projectile move you might recognize. You can see Nat using it right here. Each hero also has a unique support heroic that's designed to enhance co-op and team play. For example, Thor's support, Warrior's Fury, lets him channel the power of the gods to supercharge his Odin force and grants a period of invulnerability for nearby team members. You can see this in action when Iron Man gets the buff as he flies through Thor's support.
Yeah,
Ultimates take longer to charge, but they're definitely worth the wait. They have more screen clearing power, and some even have residual effects, like Thor's Bifrost Ultimate. Thor's Ultimate Heroic channels the power of the 9 realms, and his Bifrost taps into Muspelheim to bypass unbreakable shields, allowing Thor to use the power of the Bifrost Bridge to do maximum damage. We know everyone plays differently, so we have melee, ranged, aerial, and ground combat skills to tailor your hero to your playstyle. As your heroes earn experience, they gain access to new skills. Skill points allow you to unlock new moves, combos, and even new versions of attacks.
Or even like an old
As you build up your heroes, you begin to see how unlocking and mastering the separate core skills offers a ton of depth and variety on its own for every hero. And that's before gear, perks, artifacts, and any kind of later game progression. So why is all of this important? Because it means your Thor will play differently than my Thor, and my Hulk will play different than yours. Another way to customize your heroes is with gear. We've previously talked about the different rarities and how perks will give you powerful modifiers for even more customization. Some perks apply special damage like plasma or gamma, or cause status effects like shrink, which will shrink enemies and reduce damage and defense. You can see Iron Man using gamma gear in this shot, and eagle-eyed fans probably noticed his laser sweep was green instead of red. Nope, that wasn't a bug. When you have gamma gear equipped, it grants a bonus damage modifier and changes the emissive color of your attack. And voila, green lasers. We know that if you look good, you'll play good. The Crystal team has really enjoyed creating all new outfits for these heroes, and drawing from Marvel's 80-year history to bring so many classic outfits to the game. Each hero has dozens of outfits drawn from some of the most recognizable eras and story arcs. You can earn them over the course of the story campaign by completing missions and deciphering patterns.
Honestly, I haven't seen a classic outfit yet.
There's Iron Man's suit from the 2014 Original Sin storyline, or Donald Blake, which is a nod to an alias of Thor's who first appeared in 1962's Journey into Mystery issue 83, or Tony's Stark Tech outfit that was inspired by the Bleeding Edge armor that first appeared in Invincible Iron Man number 25 in 2010. While there are a ton of outfits you'll earn just by playing, some will require completing iconic mission chains to earn each hero's iconic outfit. And some outfits will only be available in our online marketplace. You could even customize your attitude and let out your inner Hulk with the right emote. I don't think that's canon. Those are just some of the ways you'll be able to build and spec out your heroes. Okay, I think it's time for another trailer. This one gives us a first look at how all that customization is especially fun when you play together. This is co-op and war zones.
The original stuff, not stuff from...
I can't believe it! AIM is firing on the Air Force!
These adaptoids of his, they harvest their powers through the torture of these Inhumans.
Georgie Boy is gearing up for war. Programmable power under our control. No more heroes.
The entire world is in terrible danger. Time is here.
I could pull some strings to spruce up the armory. Get ourselves some new toys to play with. Dangerous ones.
I'm picking up something in the atmosphere. A derivative of Terrigen.
I'm here. Who needs their ass kicked?
Okay, see, now that's better.
Very end reeks of dark magic.
But, yeah, because, I mean, for some reason, normally I'm a huge all these characters that I've not seen. Justice. See what's there. There's classic Ren gold. But,
we gotta get this bird in the air before AIM comes looking
I'm
for
also,
us.
I'm an artist. I create stuff. Like I created
Jarvis is unencrypting the schematics, and we'll get our tech heads on new gear
ASAP.
ASAP.
My own, and seen some pretty lazy and crappy costumes over the last few years, so it kind of sucks to see more of it.
Look at all this. Which nation state is AIM planning to go to war with? Heroes are people, and people can be corrupted. If I don't stop them, it's just one more thing to regret on my deathbed.
Times like this, we'll all be hopeless. That's when we got to stand strong.
Okay, so is Nick Fury just gonna forever be black? Because he did used to be like Nick Fury. The Nick Fury I grew up with, and I know.
Here we go.
Time for heroes is over.
White, brown hair, poop cut, gray sideburns, eye patch, and wasn't Director Fury, he was Colonel Fury. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Hey! Where did this thing come from?
That's a rant for another
So
day.
far, we've talked about the story, hero missions, and customization. Now, let's talk about war zones. War zones are missions which you can play with up to a total of 4 players or solo with an AI companion team made up of your unlocked and leveled heroes. Whether playing hero missions or war zones, you always make forward progress with your heroes. On your helicarrier, you'll use the war table to launch missions with a variety of objectives and challenges. As you saw in the co-op trailer, each mission is grounded in story, so whether you're in the campaign or war zones, you're always working together to stop AIM and rebuild the resistance. You get missions from Jarvis, Maria Hill, Hank Pym, and more characters from Marvel history.
Classic co-op, where you have split screen.
Once you pick your mission, you'll board the Quinjet, where you can matchmake, switch heroes, choose your loadout, and of course, pick the right look and attitude for the job.
I mean,
as you start playing missions across the globe, you'll realize AIM has entrenched themselves in cities and remote locations alike, all in the name of research. War zones range from wide open spaces designed for exploration and team traversal to dense interiors with a variety of objective-based challenges, boss fights, and rewards. Here's a mission we saw in the co-op trailer called To Tame a Titan, where we can see some team play. There's this cool shot of Iron Man, but you may have missed Kamala and Hulk performing a team finisher on that poor guy back there. When you max out some larger enemies' stun meter, 2 heroes can come together to perform a team finisher, which gives you a chance to take them down much faster. Teamwork makes the dream work. Living the hero life is all about growth, getting stronger and better equipped to play smarter, and there are plenty of upgrades to help you do just that. As you progress through the campaign, you'll also be rebuilding and upgrading the Chimera, your helicarrier, which is your own flying base. The Resistance is a group who have banded together in the 5 years since A-Day. Some are inhuman and have powers, some are former S.H.I.E.L.D. agents who refuse to pledge allegiance to AIM, and some just want to help.
What is this place?
We call it the Anthill. Not my idea.
You'll join their cause in the field by working directly with factions like the Inhuman Alliance and S.H.I.E.L.D. agents Dum Dum Dugan, Nick Fury, and more.
Okay, so they keep
earning faction reputation will give you access to new challenges,
I'm sick of tokenized Nick Fury. I'm sorry, but I'm saying
new vendors, and more powerful items. There will always be new threats on the horizon, so you want to ensure your Avengers are ready for anything. We've talked about a lot today, but that's kind of the point. This is a really big, ambitious game. Marvel's Avengers isn't just a global, high-stakes race to rebuild the Avengers, to save the Inhumans, and uncover the truth about AIM's plans. That's just the beginning. This is a brand new, original Avengers single-player story that you can enjoy on your own, made the Crystal Dynamics way. But it's also an experience you can play with your friends that will grow as we add new heroes, new regions, and new story, all at no additional cost. Thank you for following us and believing in us. I want to give a big shout out to our community. Thank you for caring and telling us what you think. We're listening, and as fans ourselves, we're all working every day to make Marvel's Avengers worthy of your support. Please stick around after the show to ask questions and chat. On behalf of the whole Marvel's Avengers team, thank you for tuning in to the first Marvel's Avengers War Table. In the coming months, we'll talk about our first post-launch hero, our upcoming beta, and of course, our launch, when Marvel's Avengers arrives September 4th. I'm Casey Lynch, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, so still, I mean, the story could be decent. It's already got a major, like, negative 17 points for me, just because of the Avengers somewhat being sidelined for the more modern character because they need to boost her popularity, and she's not able to hold her own in her own game, comic, whatever. So they have to shoehorn her into other games and other stuff. So this way people can actually see her. Otherwise, no one would even know she existed, as they did before. And now we're just looking at concept art. Still just looking at concept art. I mean, it's cool concept art. It's just, I mean, that's what art books are for. Also, this game was supposed to come out May 15th or 14th of this past year, of this year. Like, it's supposed to already be out, but it got delayed to September due to COVID-19. So, and now they're just cycling through the same concept art. Great. Well, this won't get boring. Alright, well, this is, I mean, sure, it's cool and all, we're getting an Avengers game, but it's just, for starters, it is still a live service game. Like, they said that when they finally revealed the game because they revealed the game at E3 2016 or 17, I think it was, at this, like, 30-second cinematic. And then last year at E3 they finally showed off, like, it was the first time since then that they showed off gameplay and more news about it, in which case they revealed that it will not have any all the DLC would be free, but it's a live service, but all the DLC will be free or something, and it doesn't have microtransactions, or I think, but honestly that's all a load of hooey because they can change that. So, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that a developer or publisher said, hey, it has no microtransactions, and then like 2 months later after release, hey, there's microtransactions. So, yeah, it's I mean, maybe it'll be good. I don't know. I have no much faith for this. I have no like excitement or anything for this game. It's not like, oh, I need to get it or whatever. To me, it's just, I'll see when it comes out, because the problem also with live services is typically with a live service game, for those who don't know, I'm going to use a baking analogy I like to use for this, where a live service game tends to be like buying a cake at a bakery, except you pay for the full cake expecting to get the full cake, only for them to just give you a slice and then charge you again for the other slices. So that's essentially a live service game. So to actually explain that so that people understand, a live service game typically, you know, like Battlefront 2, well, not actually Battlefront 2 they didn't, but with Battlefront 1, the EA games, Battlefield 5, Destiny 2 is a great example. You know, you have a game, you pay $60 for the game up front, and then they add DLCs or this or that, and over time, and the DLCs are like 15 to 20 bucks, and there's like 17 of them, and at the end of the day, the game costs like $200 for the full game. You know, I can actually give you the exact number for Battlefront EA. Back in 2015, it cost $150 for the full game, after all the DLC and everything, because it was $80 for the game, and then it was essentially was like $15 per DLC. Oh, that was it? Okay, so yeah, let me... Right, but yeah, live service, I have, I'm not saying the live service can't be done well, I just have never seen it be done well, so I don't think they're going to do it very well. I think they're just going to... And look, as I said, they say they're not going to charge you, but they probably will. And they said no, I don't remember if they said no microtransactions. I don't know if they... I think they said no microtransactions, but I don't trust them. Sorry, I'm just trying to look for where they were showing off that classic Iron Man suit, because they said I would talk about that. It's like, I mean, look, the customization is... Look, I'm always a fan of like being able to customize yourself and your character, because that's how you express yourself in a game. And why isn't this actually pausing? Okay, there we go. Chrome is just being really slow, I guess, because I'm streaming and have like 100 things open right now. I mean, it's cool that they're doing this suit. I know this was actually a requested suit from some people. Me personally, not a fan. But it's a cool suit. I want to see more classic stuff that I grew up with. You know, classic Iron Man, like stuff from 70s and 80s. Or classic Thor. Like, I'd love if... I would be pretty impressed if they added the Thor armor into the game, which is in the 80s. He had a suit of armor he made himself out of his Guardian Steel, because he had a curse that he was cursed or something. Hela put a curse on him that made his bones breakable and unable to heal. So he essentially he can get injured easily, and it wouldn't heal. So he had this armor to protect him. Yeah. But yeah, it was a good story, and it was during the Walt Simonson run of Thor. But yeah, it was a cool looking armor. And then you had Iron Man in the 90s and the classic Big Red, which is like a 90s version of the classic red and gold look. Well, early 90s, and then they kind of went wild after that. What the hell? So we have these humanoid robots. Alright, so I'm having trouble finding where that was, but... it's pretty... I mean, the Donald Blake thing, I mean, it's cool, but that's more like, look, remember Donald Blake? because I mean it's for those who don't know, Donald Blake is actually Thor. Like there isn't like another human or whatever. Like Thor became Donald Blake and then became Thor again. You'll have to. I'm not going to explain it right now, just because I don't feel like it. But if for anyone who doesn't know, like who didn't read the comics or anything, you only watched the movies. Donald Blake wasn't, just like that was a throwaway line in that movie. Where in the comics, Thor was Donald Blake. They were one and the same person. It was just Donald Blake was his human form, and Thor was his normal form. So he had immortal guys and an immortal. As an immortal. So. Alright, I'm just trying to find that armor. So, seriously, this... I mean, you can... Look, they have the cover right there. You can tell it's not the same suit. I mean, I'm sure it is their version of it. That's fine, but it hardly even resembles it. It's lacking the gold abdomen section, like the bleeding edge gold abdomen section over here. You're missing the shoulder separation, the gold separation there, the full gold arms. I'm looking at two completely different suits. So now this is a minor complaint, if you can even call it a complaint. It's more like a nitpick, but I mean, I'm just pointing out, like, when you say one thing and then you show something else, I'm going to point it out. This is not, well, this is their main suit for this game. That's fine. But when you show, like, oh look, it's the bleeding edge suit, and it's not the bleeding edge suit, I mean, I'm going to say it's not the bleeding edge suit. Just as if you were to show me like their version of the gold and black, the gold and red, the classic one, and it's not like it, then I'm going to point that out too. Speaking of which, I remember seeing it at one point, and I'm trying to find it. But I mean, this game could be good. I'm not trying to, crap on everyone's parade. If you want to get this game, don't pre-order. And that's not because you shouldn't pre-order this game specifically. Never pre-order, ever. Wait for the game to come out. Wait for reviews or gameplay so you can judge it for yourself after it's out, and then you can make a decision and get it. That's all I'm going to say. So regardless of any game, actually, I'll say that even if it's a good games, wait until it's out and then get it. But for this game, I'd say, I mean, unless you're, I don't know. It's so hard to judge right now, at least objectively, just because of this character. I mean, I'm thinking of this not just from like my completely non-objective opinion of the game story, but just thinking from a gameplay perspective. Like, if you're playing a game where you have multiple superheroes, each one with very different powers, then you'd want that to be the point, right? Like, Iron Man can fly and shoot lasers, Thor is more of like a brawler, Hulk is literally a giant Hulk, and then you have very different types of characters and play styles and power sets to use with each character, and then you have Kamala Khan, who is just kind of like, well, she can hit like Hulk and do this and do, like, there's no vast difference of abilities there. It's just more the same, and that's where I have a problem with, because those are usually characters you add after you get your base characters in when you're making a game like that. For instance, like if Spider-Man, he has a very different power set from the rest of the Avengers, obviously, and that would be a good addition, stuff like that. Or Ant-Man, because he can shrink. No one else does that. I mean, among the Avengers, at least, that you have on screen. But, you have that, or, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver. Like, everyone has a unique power, something unique to bring to the table. She doesn't. Oh, there it was. I think I just passed it. But, yeah, and Thor's flight looks really clunky, and something tells me Iron Man isn't much better. Like, it looks very slow and restrained, and turning looks like it's a major pain. Like something tells me if there are flying segments, people are gonna hate it. And is this their version of the gold and red? So sorry for the really bad quality. Chrome is kind of acting up on me right now. But it looks okay. Maybe I'll look at a screenshot later or something. I'm sure someone has already taken screenshots. But I mean, it looks alright. I'm not a fan of how like bulky and whatever it looks, considering how I always liked how the red and gold was like the most streamlined looking suit you ever saw from Iron Man. But yeah, I mean, look, it's so weird for me because I loved the original Ultimate Alliance games growing up. I loved the PS2 games, and I always wanted a third-person action game like this, or more so like the Spider-Man games, but a co-op version where you get to play as all the Marvel characters, essentially Ultimate Alliance, but in a more traditional superhero game. And now we're getting it, but it just feels so, I don't want to say dated. I'm not going to be one of those people who are like, oh, it looks like PS2 graphics. It doesn't. I mean, even if it did, I wouldn't care. I still play PS2 games. You know, graphics aren't something that ironically, graphics aren't something I care about, yet I play Star Citizen, which is probably the most beautiful looking game ever. But, I mean, look, you can have... my problem is the live service part and the very many unknown questions, plus the story elements, like how we're shoehorning in modern day characters that everyone hates into it. You know, it's a similar problem I have to the reveal that they made about the Spider-Man Miles Morales game. Now, I mean, at least that one, they're like, okay, it's his own game. They're not like shoehorning him into a Peter Parker Spider-Man game, aka the real Spider-Man. You know, but I mean, I'm not a fan, but at least it's not like, okay, I wanted to play Spider-Man and now I have to play as Miles Morales. Like I didn't because I didn't play it yet, but in Spider-Man PS4 they I mean, I guess you can say they shoehorned him in. It wasn't terrible, but I wasn't a fan, especially since those gameplay segments look really awful from what I've seen, where you have to play as stealth Miles Morales and Mary Jane, or Lois Jane, Mary Lane, I don't know, reportedly Mary Jane, but yeah, that's, again, complaints for another day. So yeah, I'm not a fan of all these like these narrative things where you have to like, look, let's push the unpopular character in because it's unpopular and no one else likes it, so we have to push it into other products. Just as if you have a unpopular character who's in their own movie or something, you shoehorn in popular characters to boost it. So, or at least that's what they do, whoever they is. But yeah, I mean, look, it could, as I said, it could be a good game. I'm not saying it's bad or good because I can't say that yet. I haven't played it, it's not out, and I don't know anyone who's played it. But I can say from what I've seen, it doesn't look... There's definitely nothing groundbreaking. Also, I just noticed that a lot of the skins might just be recolors of the same stuff. Like, you'll have an Iron Man armor, and then you'll have the same Iron Man armor, but with different colors on it. Now, unless you get to customize the colors yourself, which would be cool, something tells me that won't be the case, and that's not cool. But still, I mean, the loot thing... No, don't get me wrong, I don't hate looter shooters, you know, like Destiny or, you know, Anthem and all that, but... Anthem, yeah. But, it's... I mean, I wasn't a huge fan. Like, I don't... I like games where I don't have to get the same weapon, but this one's, you know, like 2 levels higher than the last one. You know, it's like it's the same exact weapon. You know, that's why I like Star Citizens, because you don't, like, there is, you know, eventually you'll be able to loot stuff, but it's not like, you know, loot where it's like, oh, I have, you know, the P8 SMG level 10 and the P8 SMG level 17. It's like, no, it's just you have one gun. It's just one of each type of gun. But I don't know, I have played, you know, I played the Outer Worlds and Fallout, so I know, you know, it's not like I never played this stuff before. But it's good that because it's different. You're talking about RPGs versus an action MMO or multiplayer, I guess. Okay, that was weird, but yeah, I don't know why Chrome is not working with me today. But I mean, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get it to that clip of the armor. I'm still not a fan of any of Thor's costumes that we've seen so far. Okay, so that's the. All right, so it looks more like the mask looks more like the movies with the classic one. All right, that's fine. Looks good. I mean, you can clearly see the obvious nod to the movie suit. Like that literally looks like the gauntlet to the Marks 2/3 from the films. The legs look like the Mark III legs and everything. So it's just a bit more makeshift. Like you can see the welding marks, exposed wiring. But it's not terrible. But yeah, here, this is literally this is the regular suit, like the regular red and gold suit that they have, just painted in white and black, or white and gold. Hard to tell because it's fading into another suit. It's like it wasn't. So yeah, a lot of the armors you have are just colorations of the same skin, or different skins of the same model, I should say, to be more accurate. Yeah, I really am complaining about the aesthetics. I don't know why. Gameplay, I want to say, oh, the gameplay looks good, but I mean, we haven't seen really a lot of gameplay. I mean, we saw some, but like the flying for both Thor and Iron Man doesn't look great. Iron Man's flying looks a little better. Like it looks like it handles better, but I mean, the gameplay, I don't know. I can't really judge that without getting hands-on or talking to someone who had hands-on. I mean, Hulk's gameplay looks pretty good. I mean, it's pretty easy for that to, though. I mean, you have good reference material for that. Like, there are good Hulk games out there. I'm not a fan of that character. I still hate that she's even in this game. Now, Thor's... I mean, look, I like the idea of that. You know, like, of Thor actually being able to use Mjolnir and everything in combat, and you can actually throw it and then come back, and, like, in the comics, that's awesome, but, I mean... The AI, here's another thing to notice. The AI don't look very intelligent. They kind of just look like they stand there waiting for you to pummel them. So there's not really, like, if you don't do anything, there's no danger. And that's also a problem, because I've played a lot of games with dumb AI, and dumb AI is never fun. So, and also some really wacky looking costumes. Alright, so yeah, that's, I think I'm gonna call it there. Yeah, I'll call it right here. It was a shorter stream. I thought it was gonna be like, you know, an hour and a half. It's only 40 minutes or so. IGN covered it as well. Yeah, so I will see you guys all in the next video. I still have a few videos to upload to my personal channel, and then this is going on Cast in the Shadows on YouTube, so check that out. Actually, I can do this real quick. There, so check out our channel, Cast in the Shadows, where we upload all of our live streams and episodes of our podcast and news videos and all that. So, yeah, we are covering, we got the next episode coming July 4th, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, yep, we'll be doing some Independence Day stuff, like, not the movie, the actual Independence Day. You know, we'll just be celebrating America, I guess, or what's left of it. And, we'll be covering more of the Avengers stuff there, because I have other news outside of just this reveal. And what else is there? We have upcoming stuff. We got some Star Citizen news, as always. We got some Halo news. So yeah, it should be fun. And then there's some topics we forgot to cover in last month's issue, so. Alright. Excuse me. Yawn. Alright, so I think I'm going to call it here. I keep saying that, so I'm actually going to do that now. Everyone, thanks so much for watching. I might be back with like a follow-up, either live stream or video, so stay tuned on Cast in the Shadows for more. Hold on a sec. Okay, yes. Yes, this way you have the full screen in front of you. Anyway, so yes, I'm going to probably follow up with a live stream or video of some kind on Cast in the Shadows with Poger, so that we can cover the Avengers stuff in more detail and not just me kind of babbling on and just commenting and reacting to the thing live. Also, he hasn't seen it, so I'm kind of watch it while he reacts, I guess, and then we'll talk about it later. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we got some new videos coming out, so stay tuned, and I will catch you guys all later. Remember to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't, make sure you still are if you have, and I will see you all next time. Oh, and one last thing, stay safe, everyone, please. Like, take care of yourselves, take care of, you know, be safe. Things are, at least, I mean, I know here we just started phase 2 of reopening here in New York, so I mean, hopefully all this stuff ends soon, but you know, the riots and everything like that, it's still happening. So everyone, please take care and stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and remember, treat others how you want to be treated.